Hi, everybody. It's Dan Cerrucci again, and I'm live here with Damon Galdo, who's a candidate for Congress. And I promised I'd be here around 8 o'clock. And so here we are. We're live on Twitter, on Facebook. We're on my YouTube page. And Damon, I'm going to put this on my blog, my website at dancerrucci.com. And I just want to check before we get started and make sure that we actually are on live on Facebook and Twitter. And there we are on Facebook. And let's see if we're also on Twitter, also now known as X. And there we are. So we're live on both Facebook and Twitter. And the one thing I want to do on my Facebook page is I want to put this. I wanted to put this to public. I don't know if I could do that right now, but I could do that later. Damon, if you go to my Facebook page, you can share it to your Facebook page. Okay. You can do that now or you can do that later. It doesn't matter. So, Damon, you are a candidate for Congress. Which congressional district is it? Is it
It's District 1.
District 1. And this is the district where I am sitting right now, which includes Cherry Hill. And it's the district. No, wait, this does not include Cherry Hill. I'm sorry.
No, it does. It includes Cherry Hill.
It does include Cherry Hill. Okay.
Yeah, District 1.
Cherry Hill had been in and out of this district several times.
Okay. Well, first I want to apologize to all listeners, but my voice is a little hoarse.
No, wait, yes, this does include Cherry Hill. Right. Cherry Hill had been in and out of this district several times, but it does include Cherry Hill now. That's where my confusion came from. And it also includes the town where you're sitting right now. Where are you right now, David?
I'm in West Deptford, New Jersey.
Deptford.
District 1 covers all of Camden County. It covers about 80% of Gloucester County and two towns in Burlington County. Maple Shade and Palmyra.
And Palmyra.
Yeah. 20 district in 2022.
Yes. So it covers Maple Shade and Palmyra, all of Camden County, and all of Gloucester County.
Yes. Well, not all of Gloucester. It's about 80% of Gloucester.
A big chunk of Gloucester County.
Yes, correct.
And you're down in West Deptford.
Yes.
To me, that means like down Route 42, and then.
Yeah, I'm right off of. If you look at it, I'm right off of like exit 21 on 295.
Oh, 295. Yes, 295 South. Okay.
Yes.
So, Damon, have you been in South Jersey all your life?
No, I haven't actually. I was born and raised in Philadelphia, so I've been close. I've been close by.
What part of Philadelphia are you from?
From Fishtown. I don't know if anybody's familiar with it, but it's right across the Ben Franklin Bridge.
Well, it's a very trendy part of Philadelphia now.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Very trendy. Was it trendy when you were growing up there, Damon?
Not at all. So my son's saying hello. Hey, buddy, I'm doing this podcast. Are you doing good on the podcast? I don't know yet. We'll see, buddy. But can you be quiet for a second, bud? Okay. Thank you.
Well, Damon, no, I'm glad your son is there because you have said that you're running for office because you're concerned about your children and the future. And I mean, that's like your prime motivation here.
Absolutely. 100%. 100%. And I tell people all the time that I never aspired to be a politician. My team hates when I say this, but I say it anyway. But I'm fortunate enough to love my job. I'm in the Carpenters Union, and I became a superintendent, which I run commercial projects now. Right now, I'm running a $30 million project in Lindenwald, and I'm fortunate enough to love my job, love what I do for a living. But I always followed politics, but not as much until I had my children. I have a 5-year-old son and a 10-year-old daughter, and I started getting more and more involved because it concerns me the way this state and this country is going. I care about their future, not just their future, everyone else's children's future. I care for the future of this state and this country across the board. So then I figured, that it's time to do something about it. I have another one of these. It's actually in the other room. It's a quote by Edmund Burke, which is my favorite quote. That the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing.
Yes, of course.
So
And you have behind you, you're sitting in front of one of Ronald Reagan's greatest speeches that you have there. And it's a speech that I'm very familiar with because I've taught public speaking. And this is a speech by the man who we call the great communicator, Ronald Reagan. And this is a speech called The Time for Choosing, which he gave in 1964, which was really the speech that put Reagan on the map as a public official and as a politician. What would you say is the gist of the speech, Damon?
He talked about the Cold War too, but he also talked about the one line I love the most is, "You and I know and do not believe that peace is so dear, that life is so dear, peace so sweet, as it purchased the chains of slavery." And that's one of my favorite lines in there, because he was just talking about, I believe, Marxism, socialism, things like that. So that we need to. It's not what our country was built upon. We were built on capitalism. We were different than any other country in the world. We became our forefathers, and it still amazes me how they foresaw all this, and they wrote the Constitution, which is made America a beacon for the rest of the world to become the greatest country in the world. And it still amazes me, a few hundred years ago that they came up with this. And
Damon, yes, Reagan's speech really spoke to the cause of freedom, and not just in our own country, but to something which was a powerful theme of Reagan's all the time, which was that America was a shining example for the entire world, and that if we lost freedom here, it would send a devastating message to the rest of the world. He often said that we're never more than a generation away from losing our freedom. Let me ask you this, Damon. I assume that the New Jersey primary is coming up. What is it, like June
4th?
June 4th. But people have already started voting. I know I voted already. People have already started voting because they got the vote by mail, and they're voting now. And so they fill out,
for me.
yeah, they fill out the ballot. Pardon me?
I said, I hope you voted for me. No, I'm not. Who you voted for? I was just saying. So
I checked it off, Damon. So they're putting their ballots in the mail. And so let me ask you this. As you're going around the district, what are people telling you? What is the major concern you're hearing from the people?
That people want change. I mean, if you look at it's everything that's on my platform, pretty much. If you look at the wide open borders that we're having, the economy is in the toilet. People are struggling to put food on the table, gas in their cars, and they're tired of lifelong politicians that have lost touch with them. So they want someone like me. I mean, I'm not saying I'm the best things in sliced bread, but I'm the best thing District 1 has going right now. I'll tell you that. But they want a regular person that's in Congress. They want to elect somebody that is with them, somebody that is dealing with the same problems that they're dealing with. Because when you're a lifelong politician and we're filled with lawyers, they don't They don't resonate with the people, with the hardworking men and women out there. I mean, like I said, I'm in the carpenters union, and the union always backs Democrats, 97% of the time. But that's the upper echelon. It's the business agents, but the rank and file men and women out in the field are voting Republican. If you go into my job site, and I go in the electrician's trailer, I go in the ironworker's trailer, the plumber's trailer, and so forth, they all have Trump 2024 because they're fed up. There's a lot of guys that should have been able to retire by now, but they can't. So they're still working because
So
they
you're
can't.
telling me that although the union leadership and the unions themselves endorse and send big money, big money to the Democrats, that the rank and file of the union are not voting Democrat?
That is 100% correct. Yes, I think it will change. I think when I talk to everyone, the only problem is a lot of the members are afraid to switch their party. And I know that because for them to vote for me in the primary, I got maybe 60% of the people that I talk to switch their party. But the other 40% that are voting Republican are afraid to switch their party because they're afraid that they're going to have problems with the union. And
let me just to tell the people that are watching and listening, including some people that may not live in New Jersey. In New Jersey, in order to vote in a primary, you have to declare your affiliation as Democrat or Republican. Now you can switch from one year to another, from the Democrat to the Republican Party, but you still have to declare. So anybody can go online or go into the voting rolls, let's say, and find out which party you're registered in. They can find out if you voted in the Democrat primary or the Republican primary, or if you haven't voted in a primary. So that's what you're talking about when you say, like, some people might be afraid. Maybe the union leaders would see, hey, you're a Republican, they don't want to be identified that way. But I still think it's a shame that the unions are in this situation. And of course, you are running. If were you to get the Republican nomination, you would be running against a congressman who is deeply tied to the unions and union money, Damon.
Yes, he is. Donald Norcross used to be a union electrician. But when I tell you that the majority, I would say 90% of that, I mean, look at Trump. When you see Trump in Manhattan the other day, when he went to that union job site,
right?
You heard all the guys that were there say, "We want Trump 4 more years," because they know that their life was better under Trump than it was Biden. And we've lost a lot. Our pension, we lost a ton of money in our pension fund because of Biden's policies. Our annuities have lost money. I mean, I've lost probably $25,000 in my annuity, and I've been in for 20 years. And everyone's starting to realize that. And like I said, I got a lot of people to actually switch their party to vote for me in the primary, which is great. But the other, say 40% that are still afraid, I explained to them. I said, you have to realize we go to work every day, and we bust our butts, we work hard, and we pay our union dues. So by paying our union dues, that pays the business agent's salary. So they work for us. If we didn't go to work, they wouldn't have a job. So they have to look at it that way. It's the same concept of people going to work every day, paying their taxes, and the government has a job because we pay their salary.
How did the unions go astray? They seem to have forgotten that they represent people like you and other workers, let's say in this case in the trades. And now they started embracing all kinds of wacky social ideas and progressive notions. And some of the things that you talk about on your website, Damon, because I've been there, I've visited it, where you outline your platform. And this is at votedamongaldo.com.
Yes.
Votedamongaldo.com. But, like these things that are going on in the schools and all this indoctrination and all. I mean, where did the unions get involved with all those kinds of progressive things? Why did they go down that route?
That's a very good question. It really is. I don't understand. I mean, if you look at it this way, I mean, everyone has an agenda. So when someone's in power, they're getting greased some way or another. So I'm not saying I know of anything like that, but it's easy to think of because they're going to go in the direction to make money for themselves. But like I said, when you're like a lifelong politician, when you're a lifelong business agent in the union, you lose touch with the men and women that are actually workers. And that's not just for the unions. I'm talking about for anybody. And anyone that's a regular worker, goes work every day. But I mean, just the regular middle class people that are the engine that drive this country, they lose touch with them. And they don't care. And all they do is they worry about getting the poor vote, those little dangle a carrot here and there, just like Biden dangles the carrot about, student loan forgiveness every time there's an election coming up. Did it midterms, doing it again now, just to get the vote, even though he's not going to be able to put it through. I know he did some of it, but and the fact of the matter, what bothers me too, with Biden, he brags about it. The Supreme Court shot it down, and he brags that he's going to find a way to do it anyway. Like he's going to go against his country. And you want to talk about Trump, who's going to be a dictator? I mean, how are you going to call Trump a dictator when he's
Yeah, I don't understand how a union worker, somebody that works in the trades, for example, can be anything but outraged that some privileged kid is having his college loan paid off. Now, I went to college, I went to graduate school. Nobody paid off my loans. Okay. My kids went to college, they went to graduate school. Nobody paid off their loans. What about all the people that had to pay their way and are now witnessing these people that have had their loans forgiven? All of the young people that didn't even go to college and are witnessing this now.
Dan, that is a great point, because I gave a speech in my union hall a few months back, and I started off, about the border first. Well, I'll go into the college loan first. And I said, there were about 250 members in the room. And I said, I guarantee that 99% of the people in this room did not attend college. And I said, my wife has $40,000 in student loan debt. I said, if this was the pass or Biden pushed it through, then I'd be asking all of you to pay off my wife's debt. And that's not fair. I said, so, and how's it fair for people who didn't go to college to pay that? And also, how's it fair that people that paid off their loans already are paying for other people's loans? It makes no sense. And then I also brought up to my union as well, they're backing Norcross. Norcross heavily backs Biden. He comes out and says it all the time. And we have a 10 million cheaper workforce that just came into this country. That's going to undercut the unions. It's going to stop us from negotiating for raises to combat inflation, and they're going to hurt the unions bad. So why would you back someone that is allowing this? So Norcross, he could say all he wants about the unions and how he's done good things for the unions. And I'll be honest with you, he did, what passing bills, but the bills that he passed, it was like a $1.6 billion bill that he passed, and $1.1 billion went through George Norcross's firm and his business associates. So I don't know if you read that in the paper. They funneled all that money through there because Norcross was worth somewhere around $300,000 when he got Donald anyway in 2014, and now he's worth net worth $16 million. How do you make that off of a congressman's salary?
Well, we have actually what some people in South Jersey call sort of mini monarchy here. where we have King George Norcross, and we have Prince Donald. And then, of course, there are other Norcross brothers and members of the Norcross family. And then there are Norcross relatives.
Yes.
And
Well, I
mean, do you feel, let me ask you this, Damon. I mean, what you're doing, I mean, being a union guy going against the Norcrosses, I don't know, Damon.
Well, yeah, I always tell people I'm at odds with my union right now. I am with union delegates because they will not give me PAC money. I pay into a PAC every week. It comes out of my pay every week, the Political Action Committee. And I met with them multiple times, and they said they're endorsing Norcross. I said, I know that you are. I said, but I've been paying in this Political Action Committee for 20 years. My father's been a member. He's retired, but for over 50 years. My two uncles, his brothers, over 40 years. My younger brother, 19 years. My cousins, same 18, 19 years. My friends that are in there, they all want to see me get elected, pay into this PAC, and they won't give me any money from it. So I'm in a little bit of a battle with them, but I always say, believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything. So I'm putting it all out on the line. I'm putting more on the line than any other candidates out there because I care. Because, like I said before, the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. So I will do whatever it takes to protect the state, this country, my children, and anyone else's children as well.
Well, simply because you feel passionately about this.
Absolutely. Because someone has to do it. And I got to tell people, too, this isn't Vegas. I didn't come to lose. I know there's going to be an uphill battle against Norcross. And, I still have to win the primary as well, but I'm confident that I'm going to win the primary. But I just going up against Norcross is going to be tough. But even if I were to lose, if I inspire more people like me, regular working class people, to do the same thing, it doesn't have to be swinging for the fences like me with Congress. It could be committee, it could be mayor, it could be whatever it might be, to get more involved and try to save this, this country. Then I've done part of my job.
Do you feel confident about Trump's chances in New Jersey? I mean, and this is a heavily Democratic state, a very blue state. How do you feel about Trump's chances in New Jersey?
I think he has a pretty good chance. I mean, it's not like he's not a show-in for it because it is a very heavily blue district. But I just think that people are fed up. I mean, and I'm curious though too when they say Biden. I think Trump's like 6 points ahead in the polls right now. If the election was to happen now, he would win. But I want to know who are the other people that still like Biden and like what he's doing. I always see all the polls and 20% like Biden's this and 30% like that. But who are they? Where are they at? Because I don't know anybody. There's no one I talk to that's a Biden supporter. And I don't just hang out with Republicans. People who are Democrats. And there might be like 1 out of 100 when I'm meeting people, and they're like, "Yeah, well, I think Biden's doing a good job." And I ask them, "Well, why do you think so?" And they can't answer it.
You have a section on your platform about big tech. Do you support? Would you have voted for the measure that bans TikTok and requires TikTok to either sell the company to someone else or get the hell out of America?
That's a double-edged sword. The way I look at it is because, yes, TikTok is owned by a Chinese company in ByteDance, and it is proven that they're stealing our information. That's why it's banned for government workers to be on TikTok for that reason. So, yes, I probably would vote for it, but at the same time, I look at it as banning something that somebody chooses to use. If you wanted to use TikTok, that's your choice. And I don't want to take away anybody's choice for something, because it's not my say. If you want to watch Netflix, I'm not going to say, "Hey, I'm banning Netflix."
Right.
But it is like I said, it's kind of dicey though, because they are stealing our information. So if there was a way that we can figure out and get them to stop, then yeah, I'm all for that. And TikTok can just keep going. But I don't know how they're going to do that because the Chinese will not allow it.
You talk also on your platform about ending the radical indoctrination of children in the public schools. This is something that we've been dealing with in Cherry Hill. We have a citizen, a resident that's been fighting the schools on that. And the latest thing that the schools did, they've tried to shut him down at school board meetings. They've tried to talk over him. And now they have banned him from entering any public schools in the district. This is how crazy this is getting. Have you seen this? First of all, your kids are your kids in school at this point?
Yes, yeah, they're in public school, and there has been some of that as well. That's why I have worked with the New Jersey Project as well, and I just got the endorsement from PYC, Protect Your Children. So they endorsed me. They have about 6,000 members. So then they're helping out my campaign because I care about it. You know, and the fact that they banned this guy from going to, school board meetings, but yet you have, I don't know how many hundreds of kids that broke into Columbia, and they're all, saying, I haven't checked the news in the past few hours. So I don't know if they're out there yet or not, but allow them to do it. It's unbelievable. You allow all these students to back a terrorist group, break into Columbia, and the other students that pay $90,000 a year to go there, and they can't even go to their school. But then they make such a big deal about January 6th. Now, January 6th was bad. I'm not condoning it, but it looks like the same thing to me. I mean, I don't know about you, but it looks like the same thing. But that's okay.
I think one of the starkest contrasts is that these students are being allowed to destroy property, break into property, destroy property, lock other people out, prevent people from going about their daily business, and they're, so far nothing has happened. They haven't been arrested. Destroying property is a crime. Okay, so far they haven't been arrested, and the January 6th protesters, which is like more than 3 years ago, are still in jail.
Exactly. It doesn't make any sense.
They're still in jail. Oh, and there's one other little item here that the former president is basically imprisoned every day. He's forced to sit in a courtroom. So he's basically imprisoned. But now they've not only fined him and fined him for contempt of court, but now they're threatening to actually jail him during his trial. So yeah. It's a crazy thing. It's a very crazy thing. And I haven't even mentioned, of course, the rioters during the George Floyd riots, many of whom were never prosecuted.
Yeah, I can go. I'll go into that in a second too. I just want to talk about the colleges. But there's a difference between if you're a privately owned college and a publicly owned college. Now, even privately owned college, they do receive federal funding as well. But if I want to give a speech at a privately owned college, and they approved it, a kid filled out a petition for me to speak there, and they got approved, and then a bunch of other kids that that are far left, they complained about it. They would shut me down and wouldn't let me step foot. Now, that's so the First Amendment is different when it comes to the private and public. Now, public has no choice; they have to let me speak there. They have to give me that. But if a private college suppresses free speech, but allows this speech to go on, but it suppresses anyone else's free speech, they should not receive federal funding. And I'll go into the George Floyd riots too, because that was right on my front door. I lived in Philadelphia at the time, and my son was still in diapers, and I had to go to either New Jersey or Delaware to buy diapers for him because every store was looted, boarded up. We had the food shop in different areas. It was a mess. And I had to send my wife and my kids here to West Deptford because my in-laws live here. My father-in-law sadly passed away from cancer in November, but my wife wanted to be close to them, so we moved in the same development. But at the time, we were in Philly, so I sent them over to my in-laws' house, and I had to stay at the house and protect my house because I didn't know what was going to happen. There was riots everywhere. And when I say on my doorstep, it was on my doorstep. And that was another thing that, wanted me to try to make a change and, run for office. Because we need to do something different. We can't have two tiers of justice. You can't allow that to happen. They caused billions of dollars worth of damage. I think there was maybe 12 people were killed, hundreds of cops were injured. They took over Seattle, an autonomous zone. Like, what is that?
One place they burned down a police district office. A police district office. Another, they took over a federal building. I think it was the post office or courthouse. The courthouse in I think it was in Oregon.
Yeah. How many of those people were arrested and in jail? That's the thing. That's why, again, we have to step up and do something. I mean, I look at it this way with Republicans. We believe in a nuclear family. We believe in going to work every day, paying our taxes, and living the American dream. Come home, eat dinner with your family, go on vacation once or twice a year. And sometimes we don't pay attention to what's going on that much, because we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. But then it gets out from under us, and you have people like George Soros that are trying to end this country, funding most of the stuff. And then it's too late, and we have to react to it. So I think we need to be proactive rather than reactive, and that's the most important thing. And we need to get the message out there because mainstream media won't cover it. You have to go on Fox or Newsmax, or you have to look it up for yourself. So it's just getting the message to people, making it easier to find that, because people, have become complacent, and trying to live life. All they want to do is, be with their family, live their lives. But it's the ones that don't want to have family. It's the ones that want anarchy. It's the ones that want communism, marxism, socialism, all that. And that's where we lost it. It's not fair, but we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. It's not fair. We have to fight harder, but we have to. We have to step up. I mean, this is not easy. I mean, I'm looking at 19-hour days, between my job, and I don't miss the kids' games either. I take them to their lacrosse games and then run a congressional campaign on top of it. It's a hard thing to do. I'm not complaining about it, but I chose it. But I'm just saying that's what we have to do. We have to get the message out, and we have to get out there and fight this, because we're losing to the country. We really are.
Well, Damon, I give you a lot of credit for making this race. You certainly are doing what a lot of other people appear to be unwilling to do. And this is very important. It's very important to the cause of democracy. And I hope people are paying attention. We're trying to get them to pay attention. That's one of the things I've been trying to do with my website and my writings and so forth and so on.
That's great.
And it's been great chatting with you and hearing about your position on the issues and what you're doing. Like I said, people can go to votedamongaldo.com, and Damon has a website there. People are voting now. They're voting by mail in this district. And we're hoping that they're paying attention. Now, this is going to remain up on Twitter and Facebook. It's on my YouTube page. You can go there and share it to your page from YouTube and Twitter. And I'm also going to put it on my blog at dancerucci.com so that however many people were watching it now, people can watch it in the days that follow. It's going to remain there. So hopefully it'll pick up many, many more views.
No, that's great. And there's just two more things I wanted to say. I just want to talk about one issue, and then I want to promote my concert before we go. Um, I just wanted to bring up that we need better leadership. We Republicans need to come together. We can't have all this infighting. If you look at the Democratic Party, they stand together, good, bad, or infighting with Republicans, and especially now, now is a chance to take over. The Democrats have been screwing everything up, so don't kick a gift horse in the mouth. So we need to come together because I know if like I said, this isn't Vegas. I didn't come to lose, but if I were to, I would get behind whatever candidate there was. I did before, but the fact of the matter is that we don't have the leadership to do it. I mean, you live in Cherry Hill, correct?
Yes, I mean this town hasn't voted a Democrat in I think it's about I don't
47
know. I mean
years
about
since the mayor.
no, it's about 60 years, I think.
Yeah, I think it was 47 years for a mayor. But then if you look at it in District 1 itself, there hasn't been a congressman elected in 56 years. I think Camden City itself hasn't had a Republican mayor in like 80 years.
It's enormous amount of time, Camden City. I mean, you're
you
going back,
think,
you're talking about my lifetime. That's an enormous amount of time.
So where's the problem at? Who's to blame for it? The people that have been in power, that we're not getting the word out there. We have to. I mean, every once in a while, like Chris Christie, he was, I'm not a fan of him, but he flipped Camden County red for the first time in a long time, and if he was able to do that, then he did something right. I mean, like I said, not a fan of him at all, but he did that when I know you did a podcast with Teddy, and I go by Ronald Reagan's left man. I don't attack my own party, but Teddy lost 4 times when he ran for Claire, 8 times, 8 elections, 3 for Congress and the other 5 for different things. I just don't know why we keep backing the same people. I mean, then not just saying me, it could be anyone else, but somebody that really wants to make change. Someone's going to put it all out there on the line. Like I'm risking everything, especially with the unions. I'm putting it all out there because I know that it doesn't even matter to me. I'll find a job somewhere else if it doesn't work out that way. But I know I'm going to come out on top with them, and it's more important to me to get everything in line and make sure that we have a future because it scares the heck out of me. It really does.
Well, I mean, I know it's great. It's great that you're making this effort, and that's why I'm spotlighting you here and I'm giving you this credit. I think it's a phenomenal effort.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm not. That's why I wanted to do the podcast with you. When you reached out, it was great. I really appreciate it. And and anybody else that you do a podcast with, I hope put it out there too. But we have to push hard. We have to fight hard. That's the only thing, and that's what I'm doing. So, and I'm not going to give up. So, I just want to let you know too. I want to push this concert I have. Trey Taylor, Nashville country music artist. He's coming up from Nashville to do a concert for me. It's a fundraiser. It's going to be on May 10th at the Victory Bar and Grill in West Berlin on Route 73. And Trey Taylor is bringing country to New Jersey. And
I saw that. Yeah. A fundraiser that you're having.
Yeah. So if you go to votedamongaldo.com, it's the first thing you see. You click on the link and you can buy a ticket. It's not going to be heavily political because I just want people to have a good time. I'll give a speech, but it won't make it long. But I'm going to just everyone come out and have a good time listening to music because this guy's pretty talented.
This is May 10th. It's Trey Taylor, a private concert. He's a Nashville country music star. It's going to be at the Victory Bar and Grill in West Berlin. And the tickets are only $65. And it looks like a really nice event. And that's going to be doors open at 5 p.m.
Yeah,
And if
doors
you,
open at 5 p.m. and the tray will come on around 6 after you get set up. I figured, open at 5 p.m. so people can come in. And
I will put this. I'm going to put this on my blog, on my website. I'm going to put this ad for it on my website. And if you go to votedamongaldo.com, there's the link there as soon as you go on to buy tickets for this event. So that
yeah,
is an important part of your campaign.
absolutely. I couldn't believe. I asked him why he raised like $1.5 million for candidates in the past couple of years, and to be honest with you, and I thought it was a scam when he reached out to me, and then I found it was real, and I talked to other people that he did concerts for, and so I asked him. I said, he only picks a handful of candidates throughout the country to do this, and I asked why me, and he said because I try to help blue collar workers going up against the political machine.
Wonderful. It's a wonderful coup. That's fantastic.
Yeah, no, I thank him very much. I couldn't believe it. Like I said, I didn't think it was going to be real, but it is. So, but Dan, thank you very much, and I hope you come to the concert too.
I will check my calendar. I will see if I can make it. Thank you for letting us know about it. And Damon, we will keep in touch. I wish you well on this campaign. And, these are long odds, but I think it's marvelous that you're making this race. And I hope that the Republican Party will unite upon the chosen candidate, because this is really a serious problem here in South Jersey, especially in this area where we're dominated by a cabal that has been in power for a very, very long time, has tremendous power, and has the money, and money is very important to finance these major campaigns. So let's hope that. Yeah.
That's why I got to sell out this concert, because I think Norcross raised about 1.5 million, and he could just do that and raise another million if he wanted to. But I have raised more money than my opponents, even though I didn't get the county line. I've outraised them significantly. But selling out this concert will be great, and I'm in this for the right reasons. So I know the other candidates are too. So again, I don't want to talk bad about them, but you have to go with the fastest horse. So.
Well, thank you, Damon. It's been great chatting with you. Stay in touch.
All right. Thank you very much, Dan. Have a good night.
Good night. Bye.
Bye.